What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Let's Talk Tottenham. Today we're doing some post-match thoughts, and I want you to tell me, what were your thoughts on the Spurs win over Man City? It was wonderful to see a clean sheet. It was tough sometimes, felt like we were absorbing so much pressure, but it was a beautiful win in the end, and it's so good to see a clean sheet. I'm so glad about that. But today we got one text submission from the Discord server of You Tell Me, and then we also had a conversation at the end of the game, and there will be a video that comes up right after this where we get some input from some guys that watched the game. Ginty, Bill, Alex, and Techno Steel. We've heard from them before, and this time we all got together on one call, and so you'll hear that in just a second. But I wanted to start with this from Sinlay, and I hope I said that right. Thanks for helping me with the pronunciation. But here's what Sinlay had to say. The lads did well. Classic Mourinho win. And yeah, we were dominated in the first half, but we did well to hold on. Dyer, Toby, Serge, Sergio, Musa, and Højbjerg were brilliant. The forwards were clinical, and Hugo had that great save against Diaz in the 90th something minute. Hopefully, we can go on to win in midweek and beat Chelsea as well. Great 3 points, great performance, and top of the league. Come on, you Spurs. And I would agree with you. I felt like getting that goal, man, in those first 5 minutes, it felt really exciting, but also a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't want to score too early. Sometimes it feels tough to hold on, but I've got a great stat for you. If you can watch to the point where I'm talking with Alex about Jose Mourinho, Jose has an amazing record at being ahead at halftime and being able to hold on for the win. So anyway, thanks so much for sending that in, and this is the video of us all talking together. Today, we're doing some post-match thoughts, and I'm really excited to have a couple extra voices on here. So first thing I wanted to do is just introduce you to the guys. We've got Bill, we've got Alex, we've got Ginty, we've got Techno Steel, and it's going to be, a great afternoon because we have just beaten Man City at home.
There was squeaky bums throughout, but I think we survived.
Totally, especially at the end. You're just... it's always the clench. That's what I like to say.
Definite clench times.
So for the first goal, though, Son scores at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Bill, I was wondering, Tanguy got the assist on that one, and you were giving him some love. Tell us your thoughts about Tanguy this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were chatting throughout the Discord app as well about how that pass, that vision from a Ndombele, beautiful. Just more of what we've been seeing so far throughout the season of him putting a shift in with that vision. And I think it's something which is really great to see because we see more and more throughout the season that he is someone within our squad who is able to see the pass. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of like a little bit like Eriksen in his prime, but also like Modric with how much composure they have on the ball, but then not being able to lose the ball when they get it and they're having that battle in midfield. Yeah. He's able to, he gets it, he turns, and we saw it, I think it might have been the Brighton game, mm-hmm. and there will be 2 players in between him and he will just go past them both.
Right.
And it's great to see. It really is, because it gives us a lot of needed composure in the middle of the park, which I think we've sometimes been lacking of late. So it's good.
Totally. And I also think it's his the way he can hold on to the ball. He's got the ball, he controls it, and then he's able to find that pass, and just really fun to watch. Ginty, I wanted to ask you about Højbjerg, because I know you don't like him at all. No, I'm just kidding. Tell me your thoughts on his work.
Worst sign of the season.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, tell us what you think.
Oh, he just put in another shift. He just lets Sissoko and Ndombele just run completely free. Mm-hmm. Like the way that the team was set up, it was obviously he's went more attacking fullbacks, and Sissoko, as I was going to say later on, he was immediately dropping in to the right back and giving Serge Aurier all the freedom up front. I think Serge Aurier actually put in some decent tackles, but he was, as soon as we were attacking, he was past their first link, the byline,
Yeah.
And the reason that Sissoko can do that is because Højbjerg just sits right back and he just controls and does safe, nice, quick passes. I
Yeah.
also like to say the thing about Ndombele. What Bill was saying, how he almost seems a bit Eriksen and Modric like. Is one thing he has on them, which is really good in the Premier League, is the physicality.
Yeah.
He could really hold up a man, and he is a big, strong lad. Obviously, stamina's a bit of an issue, but when you've got Lo Celso, you come on, or any of the others in the midfield is stacked. I don't think that's a massive problem.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think Sissoko did really, really well today, and it does allow for Aurier to kind of do his thing. I usually am not a huge fan of Aurier because he's always able to give up a crap pen or something like that. But I felt like Aurier really did well today, and we'll get to that in a second. But Alex, would you tell me a little bit about Jose? I feel like this guy is well, dude, so here's a stat. You ready for this? Jose, 129 wins, 16 draws, and 2 losses when his side is ahead at halftime. Wow. It's crazy. A pretty incredible stat, and today was the 129th. So, yeah, just give me your thoughts on Jose, what he's done for the club so far, where he's at.
I mean, I think, those stats probably show why he was so angry, in that West Ham game when we let the lead slip. And, I mean, you could argue the Newcastle game, he had a right to be pissed off. But I think really it was the West Ham game, which I think he kind of just got fed up. And that was kind of like the last straw. And it was like, anybody who, is part of that, like you've got to fix up or you're out kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think really from that perspective, that's where we've changed though. I mean, the West Ham was a bit of an anomaly. I think, we were much more flaky in the last 10 minutes in the past, or at least it seems like it, right? I think when Jose came, we all hoped that his impact would be to fix our defense, because we're in a situation where we had Vertonghen and Toby who have been amazing servants to the club, but I'm not sure whether any of us thought how much time they had left in their careers, and it's unfortunate to see Vertonghen go. But I think keeping Toby and the fact that he's still involved, and people thought, over the summer, we need someone else because Toby's not good enough anymore. He's not going to start, etc. He's kind of showed that he's still vital to the team. I mean, some of his tackles today were magnificent. And, as I was saying actually on the stream about the fact that he can make that slide tackle that if Sanchez does it or Aurier does it inside the box, you're almost, it's a 50-50, maybe not even 50-50, it's 80-20 that you're giving away a penalty.
Totally.
But when Toby does it, you're just so relaxed. You're like, bring the VAR, mate. It's not going to make a difference.
That's
but
right. All right, don't bring the VAR ever, though, okay?
Don't bring the VAR. I regret saying that. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know, man.
Against City, you can bring the VAR. Against City, because
that's true.
That does seem to go well for us when we're playing City.
That's so true.
That is true.
Yeah.
But from the Mourinho standpoint, I think, I said it during the stream, and I don't regret it. I think it's accurate. It was a Mourinho masterclass with the Lo Celso substitution. And, look, we're going to look back at the stats. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. We probably, I don't know, we must have had 3-4 shots all game. And City were effectively peppering us. But the reality is we walked away with 3 points and a clean sheet, and we don't do clean sheets often. So that's massive in itself. I think the biggest performance was defensive, really. The fact that, and I said it on the stream as well, I love seeing Kane get back in the box and defend. I mean, I know we're just not used to that with the strikers we've had over the years. We've never had a striker that will drop back like that and put in a shift. And, Kane can play anywhere. We've seen him in goal. I mean, he wasn't great, but you know what I mean.
Totally.
He can play anywhere.
11 Harry Kanes. Yeah, get in.
Up on what Alex said. I mean, I've written it down here. It's at the top. Like you say, Alex, clean sheet. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that is what we need. And it is great to see after West Ham. I think we played 4 games and conceded one goal.
I think
because
so.
there was that stat that they put on, lovely biased Sky Sports at the bottom saying how much we had conceded, and that 3 of those goals was West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
The 7, out of 5. That's one game.
And the goal that we conceded against Brighton shouldn't have stood anyway because it was a foul on Højbjerg. So
Totally.
I think that
And a pen in
the defence is the thing that I've been...
And Newcastle as well.
Yep.
Another one where we should have had a clean sheet there. So I think sometimes those stats, the clean sheet stats, are definitely deceiving this season. Our defence has been solid pretty much throughout. I can't think of a game apart from the West Ham one, statistical anomaly there. But apart from that, no complaints about Dyer this season. And I was probably the first one last season to say, get him out my club, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I'm eating humble pie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. How about you, Techno Steel? What's your thoughts on Jose?
He's doing quite well. I mean, I thought he was going to play ugly football. He's playing really entertaining football.
Yeah.
So, really nice seeing, today's game was not really exciting football, but, something that I like to do.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that, we absorbed so much pressure. And it's really tough. I mean, that's the blood pressure stuff. You're just like, oh my gosh, are we actually going to not concede? But I think you said it really well, Bill, that getting that clean sheet today was huge and super important for us. I think just mentally, getting a couple clean sheets would be great.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can continue to do that. Now, I think we would all agree as well that Aurier put a shift in today. And so, just Alex, wanted to hear your thoughts on him so far and, what he's doing for the team.
Yeah, I mean, God. I mean, we haven't seen a huge amount of him this season, let's be honest. Doherty's come in and just, played the majority of the games and some people aren't necessarily convinced on Doherty. I don't know how much you guys pay attention to football Twitter, but it's a lot of people aren't convinced by him. And when he caught COVID, I did think that this was the opportunity for Aurier to come and show that he has turned over that leaf. He's maybe less shaky. I think all of us before, the two names, when I saw the team sheet last season, it was the two names I would be worried about were Dyer and Aurier. And it just seemed like that was the way. It was who's going to screw up the game for us? And those two names popped out every single time. Both of them have completely changed over the summer. Now, I don't know whether that's competition because Aurier has realised that, Doherty's coming in. There were rumours at the time and over the summer that Aurier was being offered for sale.
Yeah.
And I think, something has happened. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the food they're serving. I don't know what's gone on, but Aurier is a different player. And, people used to say that we bought a PSG reject, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not, I was going to say top of the league. I don't want to start doing that. You know what I mean?
It feels good, though.
Anyway, look, outstanding performance. He didn't really put a foot wrong today. Can't complain.
Yeah.
He should be given more of an opportunity for sure. Yeah. I think that Doherty will probably come back and start a few games, but I think we've got, considering he went into the summer window worried about those positions, right?
Yep.
It was left back and right back. Everyone was kind of worried about those two. We got rid of Kyle Walker-Peters right at the beginning, and it was kind of like, we're going to need someone to replace him. We're going to need someone in left back, and I think now I have very little worries about those positions. And even our biggest worry right now is centre back. And, Dyer's been performing brilliantly. And I say it's a worry. It's a worry because we don't really have worries elsewhere. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So,
well,
it's even that,
To go on to that, though, I just want to say that, having Toby go out and, I don't know, we don't know yet how bad that injury will be. What do you think, Bill? Do you think that who do you think comes in if he's going to be gone for a few games?
So our next game, I don't know who we've got.
So we've got in Chelsea,
Who
Arsenal,
is it that we've got
Palace.
in but the Europa League.
Oh, Ludogorets.
So if it's Ludogorets, I mean, I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind saying Dyer and Roden just to sort of test it out. I mean. I'm trying to think who else is going to come in because I don't really want to see Sanchez come in. I would rather at the moment kind of prioritise Roden just because
Tanganga.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming back
Not
from
that
he's
he's
coming
fit,
back, isn't he?
apparently.
Apparently he's training, but I don't know how close he is to returning.
Yeah.
Did Rodon make the Europa squad? Because
Oh no, he hasn't. No,
yeah,
he
so
didn't.
it has to be Sanchez.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
I
Yeah.
hope Tanganga plays in Europa League with Davinson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with,
Oh, yeah, go on.
Rodon.
Yeah, if Tanganga could get in, I think that would be great. I would love to see Davidson get another chance. But, you know, like you guys were talking about, his international play was not great. Probably something he wants to forget, so we should stop talking about it. We'll just move on.
I mean, it's the kind of thing that just to say this. I mean, we have been praising Serge Aurier for kind of proving us wrong, in as much as
True.
we felt like he's got a mistake in him, and he's really put a shift in today.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should just. I mean, I also don't completely rate Sanchez, but maybe we should just hold off for now and say, okay, yeah, you know, let's see if you can prove us wrong as well.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, it would be awesome if he
yeah.
could.
I wouldn't play him against
I kind of
Chelsea.
agree with you, but
I'm playing
that's what I was about to say. I was literally about to
midweek.
say, I'd be like, prove me wrong at Ludogorets.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
But
Yes. Totally.
So what would your back four then be for against Chelsea, guys? If I put that question to you.
I'll go for it, man.
Get in.
Like, I don't know. It depends on the midfield, man. Like, if we're going to have this, I mean, Doherty's still out, so it has to be Serge. So it has to be the Serge Sissoko combo again. Reguilon, I think maybe. I think it really worked. I think he was unlucky to hit, like, Kyle Walker just put an absolute shift in. I think Chelsea would probably be a lot easier for him to get more involved in the game. But I really do think. I think maybe Dyer and Rodon. I think the two of them, two big defensive centre backs. I think that I'd like to see Rodon start, man.
Yeah. Give Rodon his
Really,
chance.
I think he really wants to. Yeah, if he could show me step up, you know.
Mhm.
And I don't know, honestly, mate. I think maybe in the January you would try and maybe go back in for Skriniar and maybe loan and
yeah,
Sanchez
Alistair
out to
Gold
them.
has said that we might go back in for him. But something you guys should remember is that we have tried Ben Davies at left centre back as well. So
That's
I
true.
mean, I'm not saying that he's the answer, but I'm saying that if you're Jose,
Everybody says my name wrong.
and Jose's already picked him to play that role before, it is possible that we might have Davis and Reguilon starting with Dyer.
I don't mind Davies back there in a back three,
Yeah.
but I don't like him when there's only
I don't
two.
think against Chelsea. No, it's just
No.
depends on who they play, man. Because Tammy Abraham's going to tower over him.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And Timo Werner's going to completely outpace him.
Yep. Yeah.
Because he's still got that kind of full-backy kind of mentality where he'll push up a lot further than maybe our centre-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Timo Werner will just beat him for pace, no bother.
Yeah. Bill, what about you, though? What would you say?
I mean, that's a shout from Alex, I think, if you had Reguilon, Davis, Dyer and Aurier. I would like to see Joe Rodon come in. I mean, truth be told, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him to actually know how good he is. Okay, we saw him he made an appearance against Burnley in the final few minutes and today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been watching Wales, but he
No, I
does
didn't
well
catch the
for
Wales game.
Yeah, I watched all of their games. I mean, it's difficult to assess. International games are just so difficult to assess. So I'm still not, convinced either way. But he must have something. Surely he has something. Otherwise, we wouldn't have, gone out of our way to sign him. But I thought Jose. I don't think Jose necessarily. I think he alluded to him being one for the future, but then he's played him already, so I'm not sure about that. I think, to be honest, if Tanganga's fit, I just hark back to those games last season where he was just magnificent. And he's a local boy, etc., etc. I mean, obviously all that adds up. But when you watched him in the documentary, I mean, you can't help but fall in love with him. He just seems like such an innocent guy. Lives with his family. Seems family orientated, and especially I think for the area that he's from in London, to be so focused on football and not have all the other distractions that come with living in London, if we're being honest, which a lot of other players end up having, right? As in, making the wrong type of friends, etc., etc. The fact that he's been so dedicated to this point, I think he's got a great future ahead of him. But whether it's the right time yet for him to come back, I'm not sure. I mean, they said he had a back injury, and then...
Do you think he was a bit poor though the start of the season before his injury? Man, like last season he was great, but I think he was personally. I saw him. He was a bit. He had a few mistakes in him. Do you not think?
I saw that. Yeah, I remember that, thinking that as well. But then it's like, how much game time has he had? And we've kind of seen both sides of him, right? Where he's come in and made a bunch of mistakes, and then also where he's come in and delivered the man of the match performance against Liverpool. I think it was Liverpool last season. So. You just got to hope he finds consistency at some point, but he is still really young for a centre-back. I think he's 21, maybe 21, 22. So,
I think so. Yeah. Well, last question I wanted to ask, this is for you, Ginty. What do you think this game does, if anything, for momentum? As we kind of head into these next 5, it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool, and Leicester for the Prem, and just wondered what your thoughts are. Do you think this is good, or do you think it doesn't really matter? We're going up against Chelsea. We got to start it all over again.
I think it's going to be a bit of a double-edged sword, if I'm going to be honest, because I think it's really going to, boost the morale of the team. But as I was saying with I was looking at the odds and I put money on Tottenham. With all the publicity in the media, it's thought we were going to lose, and now you kind of think that the performance we gave the media is going to be, bigging us up again. Yeah. And then teams are going to take us more seriously. And then hopefully the games will be even harder than they were before we beat Man City. So I think it will boost the squad, but I also think that, now that we beat, because it's obviously everyone's just talked about this season being Man City and Liverpool as the contenders. Yeah. And we just easily out tactically did Man City today. So now they're going to, I think everyone's just going to stand up and recognise,
put some respect on that name.
Nah, man. I think that's wishful thinking. They all say that. Oh, well, if they can beat Man City or Liverpool, then we'll talk about title contenders. And now they'll say, yeah, but that Man City team conceded 5 goals to Leicester, so they're not that great. Blah blah. Come
so
on,
true.
It's never gonna be the case. And realistically, I don't understand that. If they beat Liverpool and Man City, Liverpool have an injury crisis at the moment. I mean, I don't think that beating them is
it's going to be a big excuse for the title.
Yeah. So to be honest, if they're not going to say it, let's wait until January. If we're still in the position that we're in and we go through these 7 games and sort of semi-unscathed, then I think maybe the pundits will start looking towards us and taking us a bit more seriously. And do you know what? Even when they do, it's going to be, well, Tottenham have just been really lucky because of this season, because of COVID, everything's everywhere, and Liverpool have had
there's
all those
no
injuries.
fans.
Otherwise,
it's a weird season. Totally. What about you, Techno Steel? What do you think about momentum? Do you think it's important that we get this win? Do you think it'll help us as we go on to play some of these next few games?
Team spirit will be really high, team spirit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everyone will have a belief that they can actually go the whole way, the whole fixtures.
Yep.
The one. And if we actually do go through these fixtures and have, at least double-digit points, there will be a big a message to the pundits that we are actually serious and we can go for a title.
Yeah, I remember in one of your audio clips that you sent in just talking about a happy Jose. It's a happy locker room, happy players is going to lead to more and more results. So I hope you're right about that because I think it is, personally, I think it's a good start. I don't think that it's necessarily going to help as we play Chelsea. I think if we get these back-to-back, if we get 2 good results, then you're starting to look at, some really actually feeling some momentum. But,
I just feel, do you not feel like Chelsea are just so inconsistent this season? They just either play amazing or just get capitulated.
Yeah.
It's so hard to think what that game's going to be like, really.
I agree, but I mean, look, I think we played them in the Carling Cup with our second team, right?
Yeah.
Not our full second team, but like, you know, and we didn't win. We won on penalties, by the way. I mean, I know
no out and out striker.
we already beat Chelsea this season. It's, you know, that's top 6 team and whatever. But you know, I think, look, they've got so many superstars. I'm not going to say I'll be happy with the draw, but across all of these games, one of them we've got to lose. We're going to lose or draw, right? And I think that looking at the games that we've got going forward, Chelsea are probably the most dangerous team. Chelsea and Leicester are probably the most dangerous games. I think, like, no disrespect to Arsenal, but
No, disrespect Arsenal.
Kind of...
Disrespect Arsenal. Show all the disrespect you want to Arsenal.
Nah, man. You know, they've got Arteta ball behind them, guys. So,
hey, got it. Bill, do you agree? Do you think? Do you agree with Alex?
I think I mean, next week is a bigger game than today. I think, really, because I know people say, "Oh, it's Liverpool for favourites." After that, it's Man City. I personally don't buy into that. I do think Chelsea are. If you say Chelsea are a dark horse, and Tottenham are like a darker horse to win it, but I do think it is going to be a big game next week. Considering we're ahead of them, by 2 points? Take a draw away from home, and we're still ahead. So,
I'll take a draw.
Yeah, I think Chelsea's attacking front three is going to be a more difficult to defend against than Man City. Ginty, I mean, you said today, Sterling, we saw nothing of him. Okay, he came on for like the last half an hour, 20 minutes, but we didn't see really anything from him. Right. I think Chelsea's front three are in better form, attacking, scoring than Man City are. What is it? I saw a crazy stat today. Man City have scored, 10 goals throughout the whole season, and Spurs have scored 10 or 9 first half goals throughout the season. City, we did well to keep a clean sheet. I don't want to do that down at all, but I think our defence will have a tougher game next week, and if we can come through that unscathed, then we've got a good chance of going far. I don't really want to get too ahead of ourselves, and we are top of the league, but there's still games to play tomorrow.
Totally.
All the way through until next summer. So Start the game out of a screw, but afterwards I'm going to be a bit inward and just sort of. I'm a Spurs fan. I'm a pessimist, so I don't. But I don't want to get ahead of myself in any way. I think it's good. I think it's great for the confidence. Let's all check in next week and see where we're at.
Yeah, totally.
If we get another good, decent result, then we can push on from there. But let's keep some calm heads and not get too ahead of ourselves. I think that's important because Spurs sometimes, maybe nearly all the time, don't rise to the occasion. So I don't want to start putting those ideas in my head. I just want to just enjoy it and we're doing well. We're doing well, and just keep it going. Just keep chuntering away.
It goes back to Jose, saying next game. Just win the next game.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of ourselves. Just win on Thursday, win on Sunday, and we'll see where we are at the end of it all. All right, guys. Last thing I wanted to put to everybody. We'll start with Ginty. Who was your man of the match?
Come on now, that's a difficult question. There's the contenders, easily Harry Kane, obviously. I think Højbjerg as well. Outliers. I mean, the Toby as well. I mean, you could even say, for a team perspective, Sissoko, but that would still put, I don't know. It's definitely between Kane and Højbjerg for me. I don't know. It's a toss-up.
I like it. How about you, Techno Steel?
One of our own, Harry.
Yeah.
He's good. Have you seen his tackles? His slight tackles. Attack. Like, he's a defender as well. It's amazing how a striker can do a lot of things.
Yep.
It's amazing. You can't get that striker, like that full all-rounding striker. It's just priceless.
Yeah.
If you try to go for a transfer market.
Totally.
Yeah, Harry's my man of the match. That's done.
Yeah. All right. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Harry. I mean, I said on the stream earlier actually that it it could have been pretty much any player today. Not pretty much any player, but it was such a team performance that
Totally.
there were so many. Like I know that we just reeled off a bunch of names there. Højbjerg, Toby, Eric Dyer at some points as
Ndombele.
well, putting the block, and Ndombele as well.
Mhm.
That weighted pass was just beautiful. Kane with the slide tackles, getting back in the box, making tackles.
Totally.
He was fantastic. In fact, if you said to me who was the worst player on the pitch, I can't think of anyone that stood out as being terrible. There wasn't
That's a
someone
good
that stood
call.
out that let the rest of the team down. There wasn't anyone really. I mean, I can't think of a name. So I think really you got to give it to Kane just because of his all-round play and the fact that he impacts the game in every area of the pitch, and you will be worried about conceding a goal, and then out of nowhere Kane comes flying in, and I just love it. Like, I mean, I said at the beginning of the stream about the fact that we've never had a striker like that, but at least in my lifetime, we've never had a striker that just, he could play in any position and
Yeah.
he'd probably still be the best player on the pitch. And I mean, how many other players can you say that about?
It's true.
I honestly can't think of many. So yeah, I think he's got to be man of the match. He was unfortunate not to get player of the month when Sonny got it, and I think even Sonny said that in his interview that he said, "Oh, this should have gone to Harry and whatever." But Harry's never going to get the true praise that he deserves, in my opinion. People, when pundits talk about him, they talk about his stats and they say, "Oh yeah, he's done this, that, and the other." But then when it's like, is he the best striker in the league? I'm not sure whether it's time to say that. Well, he's been scoring 20-odd goals a season for the last 4, 5, 6 seasons. So, I mean, they'll never say it until he retires, and then all of a sudden
always
he'll
a
become an
but.
England.
Yeah.
Always a but. But then what you notice is every single stat when they're bigging up another player is, oh, X player has got this many X this season, which is only behind Harry Kane. It's always that. And it's like, so he is the benchmark for pretty much every single stat in the league most of the time. So I don't know.
It's so true.
Anyway, he's genius. I think he's still the top of the most assists in the league because
he will be.
he got another one today, right?
Yep. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Bill, you agree, Harry Kane?
I mean, it's very hard to disagree with that, but I like just to be contrarian, so I'll say Højbjerg.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, you can't take anything away from Harry Kane, but it did feel like every time there was kind of like a loose ball in the box, and who's that coming to clean up? It was Højbjerg, and it was him just taking the ball off someone and then taking it out and starting the next attack. I mean, I agree with you, Jint. It's either got to be Højbjerg or Kane.
Yeah.
So if we say Kane, we say
Højbjerg,
Kane. I'm happy for either.
Totally.
A point I'll make about Højbjerg is that the only reason why, and this is crazy, but the only reason why I didn't, sort of put him in there as the top is because he made one mistake today. I can't remember when it was, but I remember thinking he made one mistake, and I was like, "Oh my god, Højbjerg made a mistake." And now it's like in my mind, it's like I'm not used to it. I've never seen him do it. So it's like the first time he does it, I was like, "Oh no, he can't be man of the match if he makes one mistake." Like,
That's right.
we're blessed.
I mean, you could even say Lo Celso as well was in a shout. Like, came on, scored a goal, and he put in a shift every time as well.
Yeah.
The fact that, I mean, I think that was just an overall amazing team performance.
Well, that's it. I think, it's a huge team performance, and I think Alex said it really well. Like, who would you name as the one person who was the worst? And I'm not really sure.
It's hard. Like, I honestly think that the only people that weren't at their best was Son. He still scored the goal, got the chance, but he was pretty, went missing a few minutes. But I mean, you can't ask any more from when he scores the goal 5 minutes in. And then, Reguilon couldn't do anything attacking, but like in the defence, he was solid. Yeah. So like, even though he was lacking his usual run into doing a cross, he cleared up constantly. There was no one could do anything down that left at that right hand side.
Totally. And I think it's a credit to Jose. I think, in terms of getting him ready for this game, I mean, we know him and Pep and all that stuff, going on. And I just think, a year ago, even just pull out like how terrible we were doing up to this point. If you had said that we were going in to play Man City, I would have said a draw or a loss. And this year I came in thinking a draw or a win because we're at home, and I just felt like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit stronger this season. And it's the hope that kills you.
The irony of you just saying because we're at home when I don't think we've lost a game away this season. We've only actually lost at home, but like that's the madness, right?
Right.
Historically, I think it was the last season at White Hart Lane, we didn't lose a game at home.
Yeah,
I don't know whether maybe that's a crazy stat I've just come up with, but
no,
pretty
it's
sure
true.
we didn't.
That's true.
Yep.
White Hart Lane was a fortress, and I think since we've moved into this stadium, our home form hasn't been incredible. So, that's why I'm almost a little bit more shaky with the home games, at least at the moment, because of how we've performed away this season. It's just been amazing.
Totally.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank Bill, Alex, Ginty, and Techno Steel for talking Tottenham this afternoon. It was an awesome game to watch. We watched it together over Discord. And yeah, just want to invite you. You tell me, what are your post-match thoughts? What did you think about the game? Get those in the comments down below, or you can join our Discord server. It's the Let's Talk Tottenham Discord server. There'll be a link in the description. And as ever, it was great talking with you.